Hi guys, welcome to something interesting. So what is the little interesting thing that I have for you guys? Well, we all know about Napoleon Bonaparte. I'm like, who doesn't know the man? He was this military genius. He graduated at the age of 16. He won almost every war that he fought. And I think he's one of the most famous people in history. So what are the interesting facts that I know about him today? Well, we all know about the Battle of Waterloo, and that is where you saw the downfall of Napoleon Bonaparte. Now, why is it that he actually lost the Battle of Waterloo? It's a bit funny, but not very funny when you're suffering from it. He actually had a hemorrhoid problem, and he had constipation that morning when they were actually going to attack. So poor Napoleon, because of constipation, had actually delayed his entire attack tactic. And when he did that, the weather conditions worsened, and he actually lost the Battle of Waterloo. And that was his downfall. And then he was let onto this island where he spent the rest of his life. But this genius actually came down because of constipation. So that's one fact about Napoleon Bonaparte. Something else which is interesting is that he was isolated on this island for the rest of his life. I believe it was somewhere near the continent of Africa. But nobody knew how he died. He did have stomach ulcers and he had this hemorrhoid problem and whatnot. But nobody really knows how he actually died. And there's a certain theory that there was a certain wallpaper that was used in his room which had elements of arsenic, and because of the humid temperatures, it turned into vapor, and he either he would breathe the arsenic in, or some actually feel that he was poisoned. And how do they find out? Because when he died, a lot of people were given his hair, and then later, around about in 1960 or so, there were certain experiments that were conducted, and they found traces of arsenic. So that's one of the speculations of how Napoleon Bonaparte could actually have died, but it still remains a mystery. Nobody knows for sure, that how he actually died. Another interesting thing, a bit on the personal side, is Josephine. Everybody knows about Napoleon and Josephine, and how Napoleon was so truly, madly, deeply in love with Josephine, and he used to write all these love letters to her. But the fact is that towards the end of the revolution, we had the period of the Directory, which was actually a member of five people in it. And one of the executive leaders, Paul Nicolas, who was actually a French politician of the French Revolution, his mistress was actually Josephine. And he had made up an entire reason for Napoleon to actually marry Josephine, and he had actually pushed Josephine into marrying Napoleon. And she never really loved the man, and she was in it just because she got into it, and then she had that comfort of being Napoleon's wife, but she actually never really loved the guy. She would party around while Napoleon was in battle, and towards the end they say that she actually did fall in love with Napoleon, but then Napoleon had a real crisis in his personal life, where he was madly in love with this woman. This woman never loved him. He moved on when he realized what Josephine was all about. Josephine turned around, the tables turned. She fell in love with Napoleon. He decided that he wanted to have a child, and he went to marrying the daughter of the Emperor of Austria, and that was a disaster again. So on the personal side, Napoleon really didn't have it easy. So this big guy that everybody knows in history to be this great military genius and the emperor actually had a very, very sad personal life, and I said his downfall really came because of constipation. So that's something interesting, and that's my BlackBerry which has come to life. So I'll see you guys later.